Day 2006 celebrations, live at the National Stadium. Tonight, 6 p.m. on Channel 5. We bring you now the magic, the fun, the excitement as Singapore celebrates 41 years of independence. The National Day Parade 2006, live from the National Stadium.
Years ago, this nation gained independence. 41 years later, in 2006, 55,000 Singaporeans from all walks of life and in a sea of red gathered today to celebrate as one people. It has been 41 good years of nation building. I'm Bernard Lim.
And I'm Cheryl Fox. Good evening, Singapore. Welcome to MediaCorp Channel 5's live coverage of the 41st National Day Parade from the National Stadium.
This Singapore monument will be hosting the National Day Parade for the very last time before it's torn down and rebuilt into a brand new sporting arena.
The theme for this year's parade is Our Global City, Our Home, celebrating what Singapore is today, a vibrant cosmopolitan city and an international hub that's plugged into the global community.
In fact, Singapore's success today is closely linked to its initial success as a trading port years ago. It's the inspiration behind this year's stage.
That's right. The 3 students from Temasek Design School who designed the stage actually created a backdrop with white cloths that's meant to depict the different types of sails typical of the vessels and ships that were found in Singapore way back in the 1800s.
Absolutely. And of course, early on in the afternoon, as early as 4 o'clock, a lot of people have actually streamed into the National Stadium, finding the best spots to be part of this celebration here this evening. In fact, outside the Kallang MRT station, where most of the spectators who took the train off gathered, it was a carnival atmosphere.
For the first time, fringe activities and street performances were lined up, and as our audience proceeded along Geylang Drive towards the stadium, there were also graffiti displays, heart-stopping skateboarding stunts, and unicycle hockey games.
Well, the idea behind the fringe activities is to extend the party beyond the National Stadium.
Just outside the stadium, these activities stepped up tremendously as Singaporeans young and old were treated to showcases by some 300 performers featuring mascots and jugglers.
Well, there was something for everyone, whether it's getting yourself painted, trying your hand at balloon sculpting, enjoying some magic tricks perhaps, being entertained by clowns, or being impressed by their cheerleading performances.
And also thrilling the crowds with bikers with their stunts and brass band performances.
And of course, there'll be fire twirlers and some very, very daring fire eaters as well.
The response for this year's National Day Parade tickets were overwhelming as always. More than 300,000 applied for 55,000 seats.
And here's everybody's favorite, the fun pack, the complete NDP 2006 experience. And the audience is certainly getting all ready to be part of the celebrations.
And it's back to the action at the National Stadium for MediaCorp Channel 5's live coverage of the National Day Parade.
And marching to the beat of the drums is the Deyi Secondary School Military Band with their performance titled Reaching Beyond Singapore.
And this is the first of the 5 formations that you're about to see. It's India's Taj Mahal.
Well, this may be their 6th time participating in the National Day Parade, Cheryl, but this is also their first solo performance, so they must be really, really excited about putting on a good show for the tens of thousands here today at the stadium.
This 157-member military band was recently awarded gold with honor at the Singapore Youth Festival Central Judging Competition.
And here's another formation. It's the Korean Palace, if we look carefully. There you go. Some Korean music to go along as well.
Exactly, it completes the entire package.
Well, if you can see, the band is led by Secondary 4 student Wong Shun Wai, the drum major. He won the Drum Major of the Year award for 2006.
And they've been training 3 times a week for the past 10 months for this performance. Now that's what I call dedication. And this formation is what I call the Windmills of Holland.
Actually, just by watching the band in action, you can see that there's so many aspects of the performance that the band members need to perfect.
That's right, there's the music, making sure they hit the right notes, and memorizing the different music scores that change for all these formations.
And all these are what we call the color guards, 24 young ladies with the flags, costumes, and big smiles to add to the performance as well.
It must be such a challenge playing these instruments while executing the formations flawlessly. Now that's what I call skill.
As the formation is slowly taking to another shape, led by the drum major on the cue. This is the formation of a peacock, complete with outstretched feathers. And of course, this majestic peacock symbolizes the rise of Asia, which Singapore is very much an integral part of.
What a feeling it must be for these students of Teddy Secondary making their debut solo performance in front of all these spectators today. Look at that fancy footwork. They're moving into the final formation.
As you're saying, Cheryl, these are very, very young performers, and I'm sure it must be a nerve-wracking experience for them as well.
But they look like pros. And for the finale, the 157 members of the Teddy Secondary School Military Band take up their positions for their final formation. And it's the Russian firing cannon.
And a finale with a bang. That's the Turkey Secondary School.
What better way to end such an impressive display of sight and sound?
This has been live, the National Day Parade 2006 from the National Stadium on Channel 5. And welcome back to MediaCorp Channel 5's live coverage of Singapore's 41st National Day Parade.
There is an incredible sea of red throughout the National Stadium every year. Spectators are encouraged to don the patriotic color red in recognition of our nation's birthday, and they've always come dressed up for the occasion.
And they're all putting the items in the fun packs to good use as well, showing their appreciation with their clapper sticks if you watch closely. Wearing the white caps, the one that Gurmit is wearing. Of course, Gurmit is one of the MCs on the ground.
That's right, and the other three, Michelle Chia, Jean Dank and Sheikh Heikel.
Okay, let's get started.
And our MCs actually made a grand entrance into the stadium much earlier, flying fox style.
They most certainly did, whizzing down above the crowds in the stands right onto the field.
Of National Day Parade. Are you guys with me?
And while Gurmit's trying to warm up the crowd to the celebrations, actually, if you look among the spectators stationed all throughout the stadium in their bright yellow outfits are the more than 430 motivators who are helping the MCs out. These enthusiastic volunteers are from the Institute of Technical Education, Polytechnics and Touch Community.
A Kallang wave around the stadium. By now, the very, very famous Kallang wave. And you see, those are the huge clapper sticks that our audience are holding. What an experience must have been, Cheryl, sitting up there with a part of the Kallang wave.
And you know what a celebration it's going to be.
As we tip the skies right now, Singapore Armed Forces commandos prepare to take the plunge in salute to our nation's birthday.
They go by the name Red Lions, and they're from the Parawings Special Operations Tactical Support Center.
The first of our 15 free-fallers, daunting sight indeed.
And the first 3 Red Lion free-fallers taking the plunge at 6,000 feet are known as the accuracy jumpers. And you'll understand why when they make the grand entrance into the stadium later.
And taking the plunge next at 10,000 feet are the rest of the Red Lions for the 12-man formation. There you go.
It all begins when the paratroopers jump out of the Chinook helicopter free-falling without opening their parachutes just yet.
Here they are moving into the 12-man formation while free-falling. Now, this is definitely no mean feat with gravity pulling down at them. The free-fallers actually reach speeds of up to 200 kilometers per hour.
And the breaking away, they must be at around 3,000 feet right now, which means it's time to release those parachutes.
What a sight from up there. And there you can see the Singapore flag being flown proudly up in the skies. The Red Lions are on the way down into the stadium while the spectators are getting all geared up to welcome the Red Lions.
I know, back on the ground, judging from the crowd's response to the National Stadium, you can tell how popular these Red Lions are. In fact, this free-falling item has been a staple parade item since 1970.
There you see, first sight of the Red Lions. Tiny dots from down here. The clapper sticks making lots of noise. Certainly a big welcome for the paratroopers. And well, in fact, the Red Lions are telling us that from up there, the landing pad, which the accuracy jumpers will be trying to land, actually looks like the size of a 50-cent coin.
That's right, but by right, it's actually the size of a queen-size bed.
Yeah.
Still, you need precision, considering they're plunging thousands of feet.
Creating her necks. What a feeling must have been up there. You know, as in, like, you know that there are like 55,000 spectators on the ground, eagerly awaiting for your arrival, including our young spectator as well. Cameras clicking away.
Cameras are up.
The noise gets louder. Means our paratroopers are getting nearer. And there you can see the yellow pad right in the middle of the field.
That's right, that's where the Red Lions will be making the landing, right in the middle of the National Stadium.
Here we go. Perfect landing on the dot for First Warrant Officer Selvin. And he's done more than 2,300 jumps. And he lands right on the dot. As we welcome the second accuracy jumper.
And that is the Kalangro that you hear welcoming these para jumpers.
Yep.
And that is a nice one.
Big applause from everybody.
The Senior Warrant Officer Kurosami, who's definitely not new to all this, he's done some 3,400 jumps.
So many things the commandos have to look out for: the equipment, the wind conditions, keeping track of the direction, and making an accurate and, of course, safe landing. Yes.
And he is the last accuracy jumper, 55-year-old First Warrant Officer Aravinda K. This is his 9th year at the parade, and he'll be retiring from the military come November. And the one thing he's going to miss most, he says, is the adrenaline rush that he gets at each and every parade that he's played a part in.
Well, I can well imagine that. Now it's time for the crowd to welcome the 12 Red Lions, the formation jumpers, as they make their dramatic entrance into the stadium.
And the crowds are craning their necks up to the sky in anticipation of the rest of the Red Lions. Most of them have done more than 1,000 jumps. Some of them have even been with the team for up to 10 years now.
There you go. Eyes up in the skies for everybody. These formation jumpers will be landing in quick succession.
And they're certainly leaving their trail behind in more ways than one. This will be the last time the Red Lions will be making such a landing at the National Stadium. And that was a smooth one.
Very, very steady and safe landing. Here we go. Perfect landing. I love the way they land, Charles.
You know, as exhilarating as it is for us watching them, can you imagine the welcome that they must be feeling each and every time they're coming towards the stadium? The cheers, the colors.
Doing Singapore proud. It's easy like getting
And
off.
the applause each and every time they make a perfect landing.
It's like landing off, getting off a bus.
With a lot more skill.
It's more grace than that.
Well, jumping out of helicopters may be a regular activity for members of the Red Lion team, but each jump still takes mental preparation to get into action, and safety is always a top priority.
These guys really make it look so easy. The final jumper saluting the nation with the national flag. This is Second Warrant Officer Alan Ng. Another spot on landing. Cameras clicking away, and everybody, of course, held their breath.
And there you have it, the Red Lions with that spectacular showcase of precision and skill.
Yep. A salute and rousing applause to the Red Lions from the Singapore Army parachute team for their flawless and perfectly executed jumps.
Oh, could we? What happened? What we forgot something? You gotta be kidding me.
No, what?
Hey, guys, it's National Day, right?
Yeah.
Right? It's National Day.
And the MCs are back in action, warming up the crowd. So what is about to take place soon?
Love this song. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, uncles and aunties, grandfather, grandmother, great-grandfather and great-grandmother.
All right.
All of you, right now, let's sing a birthday song 2 times.
Okay.
And while we're doing that, I want you to look to some stranger, shake hands, and sing that song to strangers around you.
Put
All
a
right?
huge smile on your face.
Anywhere else okay. All right, if you're ready, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you.
Everybody is getting all ready for a big celebration tonight, right in the National Stadium. And yes, look at behind the scenes at what's coming up next right here at the parade.
These young participants are getting all geared up and even getting their faces painted for their big performance.
And here are some of them being given final pointers by the choreographer. Yeah, you recognize him. That's MediaCorp artist Vincent Ng.
While some others are going through the paces, perfecting their timing and their steps.
Well, these are just some of the 600 students from Rulang Primary School involved in the next item, and they suddenly look like they're raring to go.
And performing alongside them as well as Vincent Ng, as well as personnel from the Singapore Armed Forces.
For the organizers for this year's parade, wanted to take on a younger feel for the show with a spotlight in Singapore youth. And of course, the future of the nation.
And that's exactly what you're about to see.
There you go, familiar face, Vincent Ng, kickstarting this next item, taking center stage. Huge flag in salute to the nation's birthday. Vincent himself, of course, is a former wushu, or rather world wushu champion and SEA Games gold medalist.
And charging in from the 4 corners of the National Stadium are the 600 Rulang Primary School students for the item entitled Youth in Action.
If you look carefully, they're moving in the formation of 4 arrows that integrate into 1 in the center of the field.
That's right, the concept of this item revolves around 4 and 1, inspired by none other than the nation's 41st birthday.
And if you look at these young little warriors closely, they're all dressed in their costumes with their matching headbands and painted faces as
I know,
well.
each armed with a sword and shield, and the color of these shields actually changed throughout the item, adding to the whole visual appeal of this mass martial arts display.
intense concentration. Well, the formation of this item is meant to symbolize a palm with 4 fingers outstretched, and the imageries of the palm and fist are actually integral parts of the martial arts ideology.
This may be the first time these kids are taking part in a National Day parade, but for Vincent, who's also an ex-commando, this is his 4th parade. And when we asked him what his experience was like this year, he said the biggest challenge for him as a choreographer was having to teach these 600 primary school kids with no martial arts background to perform such an item.
Another precise formation on the field. In fact, the precision of movement of these little warriors certainly didn't happen overnight. With the help of school and a team of very dedicated instructors, the efforts have certainly borne fruit today. I mean, if you look at the results for today's performance.
You know, these formations are always best appreciated from a bird's eye view. And just knowing it's being executed by 600 primary school students makes you appreciate it even more.
Young warriors are certainly enjoying themselves.
This is that bit of the item where they start sparring with each other, putting those swords to good use. And joining them right now are the Singapore Armed Forces personnel moving themselves into position for the Youth in Action's grand finale.
Well, they're charging in with poles. This is what the 41 of these soldiers will actually be